I wanted to say, when it comes to believing in yourself, there are three stages. So you need to trust yourself more, to try something new, and realize that it's all in or it's nothing. And the first stage, when it comes to trusting yourself more, is about making a decision and actually sticking with it. Because you don't want to second guess yourself. And then you realize the important thing that you need to know is about tracking your progress. And then afterwards, you see how you do in real time. And I was going to say, when it comes to people that have goals and then people that don't have goals, the people that have goals, when they become better, they no longer want to be friends with the people that don't have goals, because the people that don't have goals, they'll like drag them down. I wanted to say, when it comes to believing in yourself, you want to be the one to make your own decisions. And then realize as well, so you know when you fall back and you want someone else to catch you, that's an example of when you're depending on other people. You need to fall back and hope you make a safe landing, rather than falling back and hoping that someone else catches you. And that's an example of when you make a decision and you actually stick with it. And that's when you make a decision without someone else's permission. And when you start to trust yourself more, you start to trust the process. And you realize it's a long process. You're trying something new, you're doing something unfamiliar. And then you realize as well, because when you start to trust the process, you're more likely to make progress, as I said before. And where you are now is not where you will be in the future. So that's really what you need to do. You need to decide what information will help you and to actually apply it. And I was going to say, to believe in yourself, you need to start putting in money into yourself, putting in time and delaying gratification. Because you need to realize things that you want in the short term, it won't help you out in the long term. And things that you want in the long term, you're going to have to give up the things that you want in the short term. And I was going to say, when it comes to believing in yourself and you're trying something new, realize that you are going to embarrass yourself, you're going to make mistakes, and sometimes people are watching. And that's the important thing that you need to realize. People that are here with you now, are they going to be here with you like a few years later? This could be your friends, this could be your family members, this can be strangers. Like, that's why as well, you're not really with people all the time. You need to realize that you are going to be alone for most of the time. And the important thing is that when you are alone, it's really up to you what you do. I wanted to add as well that when I do these videos, I can't control my environment, but I can control what I do. And when it comes to controlling what you do, you control your habits, you control the people that you surround yourself with, and you don't want people to be making fun of you all the time, because you can't really take that as a joke. Because when they're looking for every opportunity to make fun of you, you realize that you don't end up doing anything, because you're always like hoping that they have a good opinion about you. And realize that someone else's opinion is not a fact. And it's only a fact if you start to keep acting like this around one person. You might be like wondering that, is this going to work out? And then also as well, when you start to search up the pros and cons, you realize that there are more cons to what you're trying to do than pros. Because when there's more cons than pros, you realize that people won't really like give it their best effort, because they're like, this isn't going to work out. And then also as well, they're disqualifying themselves before they actually tried. And that's going to stop most people from doing the things that they want to do. Before I talk about the final stage, I just wanted to say something quickly. So you need to realize that when it comes to believing in yourself, you are your own worst critic or your own worst enemy. Because you start to say things to yourself that is really negative. And when you make one mistake, you seem to think that it's the end of the world. And then also as well, you seem to care what other people think about you. And I know I said this in another video, but it's really important. Because the longer that you wait to do something, it's just based on how other people think about you. And realize that you may have other people's attention, but then you have to realize, do you have intention to what you want to do? And then also as well, you're just motivating other people to do the same thing. Would you rather motivate people, or would you rather bring people down? And you have to choose between one of those two options. And when you're motivating people, it's about taking action rather than reacting to things. And when it comes to bringing people down, this is where you have no goals, but then the other person has goals. So that's why as well, you need to have goals and to be friends with people that have goals. Because if you're friends with people that bring you down, you realize they have no goals, they don't know what they're doing in their day. And then also as well, the things that you want to try, they never thought about doing it. So that's why they want to bring you down. And the thing is, I have compared myself to other people, but then the important thing is that I'm not jealous. I normally ask questions and I can admit if I'm jealous. So the two things that you need to realize, that when you're believing in yourself, you have to realize there are people that are doing better than you, and you want to be friends with those people so that they can motivate you and teach you how to do things better. But then also as well, you don't want to be that person that's always jealous of people. You want what other people have, but you don't know what hard work they did. The last thing that I was going to say, when it comes to going all in, it's about bringing your best effort. And then also it's all in or it's nothing. Because when you start to do nothing, nothing really changes if you do nothing. And when you're going all in, it's about surrounding yourself with people that are better than you. But then also as well, you don't want to be jealous, but instead take notes of what they're saying. I was going to say, the last thing that I wanted to say is about becoming ambitious. Because when you're ambitious, you realize that where you are now is not where you want to be. And when you're ambitious, you start to have goals. And then you realize as well, the goals that you have is going to be different to someone else. And the goals that someone else has, it could be the same as you. But the important thing is that you focus on yourself and you're competing against yourself. That who you was yesterday is not who you want to be today. So that's all I wanted to say, and I'll see you in another video. And just bear in mind that I had to do this video again. So I hope you like, comment and subscribe.